I wasn't out there the entire time, so I was able to do what I needed in the off season. It was a normal off season routine for me. I felt good. Was able to get all the work in that I needed and come into spring training feeling like I normally would in a regular year.
It must have been good to
Yeah,
see.
it was good. I spoke to him a few times while I was gone. FaceTime. He's got an iPhone now, so you can FaceTime him. So, so we did that a few times, and it's not the same as in person, obviously. So it's good to see him walk through those doors, and be here with everybody. And he's picked up like he never left. So it's good to have him. He's a big part of our clubhouse. Looking forward to having him on the team this year. Baseball, it's just a weird game. You take a sample of 60 games, and that stuff can happen. It's just, sometimes you hit the ball hard and they catch it and they're standing there. Sometimes you don't hit hard and nobody's there. It's a hit. So that's always been the game of baseball. Will always continue to be the game of baseball. And, I feel like some years you're really lucky, some years you're not. But there was a lot of factors that really went into it. And after looking back on it and kind of understanding it, that I have a feeling knowing kind of what happened and hopefully able to turn that around this year. No, I have a few ideas of what it was, and I don't really want to get into it or go too deep into why, but yeah, I feel like I know and have a handle on it as far as some other people do as well. So, but it is what it is. It's can't change it. It happens. What are you gonna do? I think we're all excited as a group. Like Count said, it was a noticeable difference last year. They have the crowd noise, but it's just not, it's not the same. It was basically a white noise static. I'm sure you guys could hear the press box or wherever they had you, but I think we're really excited. Fans create the atmosphere. We're all looking forward to having them back in whatever capacity allowed that it starts out as, and then hopefully gradually increase that as we return to a normal world. But I'm not going to say that not having fans is what affected my performance last year. Like, I'm not going to say that if we had fans, I would play good, or if we didn't have a pandemic, I would have played good. Like, hey, it is what it is. Guys played good last year, played well, so it's not an excuse. But I'm definitely excited to have them back. We miss them. They're a huge part of what we do with the team, especially in Miller Park. I think it makes that a big home field advantage and something that we all missed as a group. Yeah, I bounced around a little bit, did some stuff. Um, I went and saw Haynes in Nashville for a while. So it was good to see him do that. Did some other things with a couple of buddies in some places. I know that's pretty vague, but we'll keep it vague. And, yeah, it wasn't as much traveling or as much stuff as I would usually do in off season just because of the pandemic and everything that was going on. But yeah, I definitely wasn't in California a ton. I was a little bit. I saw Bronny all the time. It still worked out together, did that whole deal, but did a little bit of travel. I wouldn't say anything different. I'd say I'm probably where I usually am coming into a season, not post rehab or anything like that. I'd say it's same as 18 or 19. Spring training last year was kind of a little weird because it wasn't the normal off season because of rehab and all that. So probably didn't come in exactly where I usually would be if I was able to be healthy and do the same workout and baseball routines for spring. But I feel good, so there we go. Yeah, it's a little different, but it's a thing that happens in the game. Guys retire, guys move on, guys get traded, guys aren't around. But him having been a staple of this place for a really long time, definitely some adjusting to. I have to talk to Shogger all the time because he misses his buddy, and got to talk him through the day and make sure he's going to make it. But other than the added responsibility of that, I think we're doing well, and it's something that we as a group are going to have to deal with because as of right now he's retired and living life. No, I thought it was pretty much all around terrible. I don't know. It just wasn't good. But hey, it is what it is, man. It's baseball. That stuff happens. Can't change it now. Can't do anything about it. I tell you guys every year that good or bad, the previous year doesn't really mean anything. Can't do anything about it. So whether you were an MVP the previous year, you sucked. Everybody starts at zero in spring training in a new year. And, we live in a business where it's what have you done for me lately? And, what I've done lately is played terribly. So, looking forward to a fresh start and getting start on a new year. I don't know. I feel like you need to be motivated every year. If you're not motivated, stay home, kind of, in my opinion. If you're not, the Major League season requires so much out of you. It asks for a lot, and you have to give the game a lot. And if you're not willing to meet the game at that level, it's not going to go well for you. So, like I said, previous seasons are irrelevant in my opinion. They have no bearing on what you can do in the future. Every year's a fresh start. I think this year is going to be similar but different going forward. We're going to have the possibility of having fans, just being used to protocols. Hopefully, a light at the end of the tunnel for all this stuff. I think last year it was just, you didn't really know how long all this was going to go on, what was happening. Pretty much in the middle of the pandemic. So I don't know if there's too much that applies to this year from last year, other than that you've just been through these experiences. It's not as much of a shock. Last year, whatever routine you had kind of got thrown out the window. It's like, too bad. That's how it is this year. Now you kind of come into the new year with a better understanding what's ahead of you and how to deal with it. So, like I said earlier, I think it was to Adam, where it's like, hey, it's a fresh start. It's a new year. It's just hard to really base anything off of prior years in any season. I honestly, it feels pretty normal. Besides the mask wearing and all that, it has a normal feel to it, much more normal than I'd say summer camp felt, or even the season. Maybe that's because we're kind of used to the protocols and just how everyday life works. But it's been a good vibe. It definitely feels normal-ish, and I think we're all excited about that. I don't think we should discredit the fact that we made the playoffs last year, just because of how tough of a year that really was, and to be able to do that as a group. Like, yeah, we didn't come steamrolling the playoffs by any means, but we got there, and a lot of teams didn't get there. So I think that's something that you should be proud of, and especially in a year like that. And I definitely think there's room for improvement. I think everybody who was here last year can acknowledge the fact that we didn't play our best as a team. It wasn't the best showing all around, and I think we're going to be better this year. And looking forward to hopefully an entire season, a regular camp, and just playing that 162 out and going from there. But like I said, definitely don't ever want to discredit when you make the playoffs with all the outstanding circumstances from last year. Still a great accomplishment for the group. That's not going to change anything for me. I'm not a big in-game video guy. I just don't like it. I feel like whatever swing you have that day is the swing you have. I don't love trying to make too many in-game adjustments or watch all my swings or do all that stuff after at bats, because it's like, hey, it's not the time to change it, in my opinion. So I'm more of a pre-game video guy. Like I'll watch the previous night's at bats or something like that. But as far as in game, never really been my thing. So it wasn't a factor for me last year. That was fine for me.